Hi perfect sweet angels. I went thrifting the other day. What else is new with my friend David, and I wanted to take you along thrifting with us. Side note, if my hair looks both greasy and frizzy right now, it's actually because it's both greasy and frizzy. Some of us just have to occupy that space, which is really cool. Anyway, even though I'm already mentally like in autumn, I do have to exist in the real world wherein it is very much still summer and August. And because of that, I only got one thing that is very autumnal, and I also got a few things that will make it seem like I'm in touch with reality and not like prematurely yearning to pick apples to make a heart-shaped apple pie. Partially because like yum, and partially because I think a heart-shaped apple pie would look very cute on my dumb little Instagram. I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna get into the thrift with me because I actually really need your opinion on a DIY that I have planned for one of the things in the haul. After a year of wanting to go back to the red, white, and blue thrift store in Paterson, New Jersey, I am back, baby. I thought that this scarf was really cute. I've been looking for like a striped chunky scarf for the fall, and I liked the color palette on this one, but for some reason it just wasn't the exact vibe that I was going for. Also, the shoes here were so incredibly cute. I loved all these like flats with the buckles on them, but my feet have been kind of fucked up recently, and I don't want to get into it, but basically I shouldn't be buying shoes until I kind of know what's going on with my fucked up feet, so I left all these behind. Also, the tchotchke section here was so cool. Like, I love these teapots with these cats on chunky chairs. I have this disease famously where, like many cool girls, you know, I can't leave tchotchkes behind at the thrift store, and honestly, I left the homeware section at this thrift store mostly unscathed, spoiler, but the picture frames here were so cute. I love any like ceramic or glass kitschy picture frame. I also really love this one that said All-Star with the baseball on it, even though for some reason I am vehemently against sports for the most part. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed by the sweater section here today, just because I had been hoping to find like a cozy fall sweater, and I didn't end up finding any that I loved, although I did like this white collared coat slash sweater situation. It just felt a little bit too Y2K for my taste, and I have been liking the Y2K aesthetic more recently, but I kind of like to style it in a way that's more like cottagecore slash grandmacore, if you will. Because like on one hand, I feel kind of dumb and like chronically online limiting myself to having one aesthetic or like a vibe while I'm shopping to like form a coherent image of myself, but at the same time, it is sort of undeniable that I feel more comfortable and more confident wearing things that are more cottagecore and grandmacore. And you know what? I'll admit it, now I am sounding really chronically online. I'm like just like listing like aesthetics for this whole video. Anyway, with that simplified aesthetic image of myself in mind, I really did love this like red cozy grandmacore floral maxi skirt. Whenever I go thrifting, I always want to buy like a beautiful old ceramic clock, but then I remember that I'm a girl whose screen time is sometimes up to 12 hours a day, and that because of that, I know the exact time at basically any given moment, but today I caved and I bought a clock. Also, can we just quickly take a moment for this pink lace top with this big rose in the middle? I'm sorry, Sandy Liang who? The tag said it was $2.99, but because it was 25% off blue tags that day, it was literally only $2.25. Are you joking? Also, speaking of tags, I really liked the tag on this Guess cheetah print coat, but I was like, that's not a reason to buy a coat, but I thought about it. Because I'm doing a voiceover because of all the copyrighted music at the thrift store, you may or may not have forgotten that I was actually here with my friend David, but fear not, because here's a video of me calling his name as he found a vintage Hess truck for his nephew. There were kind of randomly a lot of awesome graphic t-shirts about breast cancer awareness. Also, I found this t-shirt that David ended up getting that said, enjoy Washington's weather, 10 billion slugs can't be wrong, with like a giant slug with an umbrella on it. I thought that this was so cute. We were also both sort of dying at this rhinestone Botox t-shirt because it is so undeniably absurd and also iconic. Anyway, by this point we had gone through most of the store, and one of the only sections we hadn't touched at all was the jewelry section. I didn't end up finding any jewelry, but David ended up finding this very fun kid core, almost like a vaporwave adjacent Y2K dolphin watch. The battery needed to be replaced, and he kept making a joke like, need the time, don't ask me. And I kept being like, shut the fuck up. Wait, after the jewelry section, there were only like a few racks that we hadn't seen in the back. One of them was like a shelf of wall art. I honestly really loved this poster that said true love, how to make your relationship sweeter, deeper, and more passionate, but I ended up deciding not to get it just because it was kind of big and I didn't know how I was going to carry it on the bus back to Port Authority. And that's kind of everything we saw. I'm back home and I'm wearing PJ pants, which means it's finally time for me to show you my silly little kind of perfect haul. First thing that I got is the thing that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I need an opinion on because I want to do a DIY on it, and it is that red pleated floral maxi skirt. This skirt was $12.99, but because it had a green tag, it was actually $6.50, I believe, or like $6.49. Here's the thing. Right before we went to check out, when David and I were kind of sorting through like what we wanted to pass on versus what we wanted to buy, I noticed the skirt had a hole in it, and then I noticed that the skirt had a lot of holes in it, almost too many to count. I'm gonna be honest and real and say that I considered passing on this skirt because of the holes, but then I had this kind of heartbreaking vision of like hundreds, dare I say thousands of people passing on this skirt. And then I had a vision of this otherwise very beautiful skirt in a landfill. I was like, I really want to make this work. So I have really big plans to patch this skirt. Anyway, I have like a shit ton of scrap fabric that I got in an estate sale a few months ago. Kind of all like a similar tone. Okay. Are we getting the vibe? I thought that the color palettes on all of these fabrics are like similar enough and like uniform enough that it wouldn't look insane. Honestly, probably gonna take me a month or two to actually get around to doing this DIY. So in the meantime, please let me know if you think this is a very stupid and dumb idea or not. Anyway, the next thing that I got definitely doesn't need a DIY, and it is actually now the capital C coolest thing I own, and it is this rhinestoned Botox t-shirt. I don't know, I just thought that this would look really cute, like untucked over a pleated skirt because it's a little baggy on me. I just like couldn't leave this behind because I do feel like secretly we all have moments where we want to feel like Paris Hilton in the early 2000s. Yeah, I want to dress like a grandma's couch sometimes. And obviously I also want to look glam sometimes. Sue me. At first David and I were like laughing about how absurd it is, but then I was like, okay, that's exactly why I should buy it. Like kind of best case scenario, regardless of the occasion, I look ridiculous in one way or another. I hope I'm not wrong, but I feel like the shirt neither endorses nor like hates on Botox. Like I feel like it literally is devoid of context and therefore means like nothing and everything at the same time. Speaking of totally absurd shirts, can we talk about how I got this pink 3D rose lace blouse for $2.25? I'm gonna be honest and say I don't really know if I believe in God, but sometimes when I find things like this at the thrift store, I do for a second. This level of detail are the kind of things that I would see at like Sandy Liang for, not to be dramatic, $300. Like obviously the rose detail is insane, but also the fact that this is pink and lacy, like I feel like this was truly designed for me. Also, I don't own blue denim overalls right now because I'm waiting to find the perfect pair, but I think that this would look really cute peeking out from under overalls. Can you imagine? Like, come on. Like that's just me and like what do I know? The last thing that I got is this ceramic clock that says sweet baby on it. And I know that given the imagery on this clock, they probably mean sweet baby as in like newborn vibes, but to me it's a term of endearment and it is giving Valentine's Day to me. I saw this and immediately placed it like mentally in like a low resolution underexposed picture of an aesthetically pleasing haunted abandoned house that I would see on Tumblr. So obviously I had to buy it. And if that mental image doesn't mean anything to you, good for you. Count your blessings. Thank you so much for watching my silly little haul. I'm starting grad school soon. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to make videos because I don't know how much time my classes are gonna take up, but I plan on making a bunch of videos in the fall anyway, and I would live, laugh, love to see you around. Bye!